everybody, how's it going? So, suspect arrested and charged in deadly New Hampshire country club shooting. I'm not going to mince words on this at all. I'm just going to speak it straightforward, as well as getting on to the fact that this Sacramento man shot up the ABC 10 news station, in protest of the firing of Jimmy Kimmel. Well, instead of going out there and throwing a fit, maybe you guys should have been watching him, and he would have been losing $40 million a year. Maybe, if he were actually popular, he would have kept his job, but he wasn't. The problem is the network is looking for any excuse to be able to get rid of these garbage comedians off of their network because their network is just losing money badly. And I think they don't care about the political messaging anymore. I think they're like, look, we just can't afford to keep losing this money, especially now that USAID isn't coming into, not supplement, but, it is supplementing, but, the proper term, I forgot what it is. But anyway, you guys know what it is. You know what I'm talking about. But they're supplementing them with this money, or at least they were, and now they're not anymore. So no more USAID money means that now they just got to take the $40 million yearly loss. And they thought they'd be able to survive it, but I guess they're probably like, well, nope. The culture's changing. Everybody's changing. Back to, normalcy. We got all riled up there for a while. And they allowed the left to get completely out of control. And now they're realizing how big of a mistake that was. In reality, even if ABC gets good networking on, I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't watch ABC for anything anymore. Disney, none of them. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. But we're going to get into both of these stories. But before I do, I wanted to mention, first of all, like, subscribe, share, ding the bell. Those things are fantastic and will help you watch any of my videos that really come in. And it'll help me a lot, too. But even more so than that, going down the description below and going to my Discord is the best way to help me out. Because then we can discuss things. You guys will get notified of every single video I ever do. And that is so much better than what YouTube will offer. And it's all free. I'm not putting anything behind a paywall or anything like that. But I also want to mention, I said in my last video that Nick Fuentes crashed Charlie Kirk's funeral. His memorial, specifically. And I don't know if that's true anymore now. Because all the videos that were there about it, that I retweeted, are gone. Gone. Completely. So I'm guessing maybe it was old footage. I had not checked into it at all. I usually like to go over things live with you guys. Live. Whenever I'm first recording. I'll go over it and read all the information out. Have my reactions as if it's the very first time I'm seeing it. For the most part. I mean, I see it. I just don't read it until I record it. That way, I get the most honest possible reaction. And it's not biased going into it. I mean, I'm biased to a degree going into it. But I'm not reading something that's going to affirm my bias. I'm going in there completely blind. That's just what I do here on the channel for the most part. So I went to go grab it today because I retweeted all of it. And I was like, this will be great for tomorrow. Retweet it all. Keep it on my X page. Go to it tomorrow. That's normally just how I do things. And went there and I saw it was all gone. I was like, oh. Okay, so I'm going through and I'm trying to find all the videos. Just not on X at all. So I'm like, I don't know what happened. So I can only assume that it was false information that was posted. So I guess that video's not coming, guys. So sorry about that. Anyway, though, we are going to be covering these. Suspect arrested and charged in deadly New Hampshire county club shooting. Witnesses say someone struck a gunman with a chair after the shooter said free Palestine. Dude was watching a lot of WWE. Guaranteed. And opened fire while a wedding was taking place in a New Hampshire club. One suspect was ended and two others were wounded by gunfire Saturday before the suspect was taken into custody, authorities said. Now, I want you to notice this. I have two sources open. Why? This is PBS. Okay? See that right there. Suspect arrested and charged in deadly New Hampshire country club shooting. This one. Crazed gunman shouted free Palestine before opening fire and killing guest at Sky Meadow Country Club wedding. Weird. One's a right-wing source. One's a left-wing source. Which one has the more information in the title? Isn't it weird how the right-wing source actually just was like, hey, here's all the truth right here in one title? And PBS was just like, this ain't worth clicking on, guys. We're not going to give you much information. Suspect arrested and charged in deadly New Hampshire country club shooting. Very boring. Very much like, this is just normal stuff, guys. Go about your day. Now, they do say here, the Free Palestine guy, but they did not want that to be in the title because they don't want leftists to click on that. They don't want their audience to, be upset by that. So, save them, their little feelings. When the more right-wing source here is like, hey, this is exactly what happened. Wonder who's who's generally more reliable on news these days? The left wing or the right wing? Who do you think? Kind of strange, isn't it? It's just a little weird. But I'm going to read the left wing one. Because even as the leftists, because they're so stupid, they end up sending articles without reading them. Even their own articles, most of the time, will tell the truth when you get down far enough. Now, I'm surprised PBS did put this at the top, but they're going to try and play it off with as little detail as possible. And I'll show you. I haven't even read these articles yet. No, I'm willing to bet this, One person was injured, 2 others were wounded by gunfire Saturday before the suspect was taken into custody, authorities said. The person who lost their life at the Sky Meadow Country Club in Nashua was 59-year-old man identified as Robert Stephen de Cesare? I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. I'm sorry. I'm not sure. According to New Hampshire Attorney General John Formella, I almost said formula, and Nashua, I think it's Nashua, right? Nashua? Police Chief Kevin Rourke, not Rourke. Rourke. Okay, I think, yeah. Man, they have some weird names up there. What is going on? Authorities identified the suspect as Hunter Nadeau. Good Lord. Can anybody have, is everyone there French? What is going on? Is there, a big French community up there or something? Genuinely curious. 23 said he had been arrested and charged with 1 count of second-degree murder for knowingly ending him. Witnesses at the scene said the shootings took place in a restaurant adjacent to a wedding that was taking place. Tom Bartleson of Pepperell, Massachusetts, who was at the country club, described a chaotic scene that unfolded near his nephew's wedding. He said he heard the shooter say, "The children are safe and free Palestine," and appeared to be targeting someone. Getting together for a dance for the bride and groom, and then all chaos went off. Now, I don't believe this, per se, that he wasn't targeting children, per se. I think he just ended up getting caught. But this is the same statement that the Minnesota shooter, who went into the church and specifically targeted kids, had said. The children are safe. That's what he had said whenever he ended up doing his crime. It doesn't tell me anything that he wasn't targeting children, so let's not go there. Getting together for a dance, the bride and groom, and then all chaos went off, he said. We heard about 6 shots and everyone ducked for cover, and the next thing you know, we're rushed into safe spots and things like that. Wedding DJ Michael Homewood credited the chair strike with preventing an even worse shooting. He hit him over the head with the chair and probably saved a bunch of lives just doing that. He should have went for the second hit. Investigators were still working to determine a motive. New Hampshire Student Assistant Attorney General Peter Hinckley said authorities said there's no known connection between Nadeau and this man, de Cesar and Nadeau. Authorities had initially thought there could be 2 shooters, but later said there was only one. Additional charges likely will be brought, including the obviously. But anyway, yeah. Witness described the chaotic scene. The mother of Desare, the man who was ended, had earlier described not being able to find her son after he was shot. Yeah, that makes sense. He would have been, going to the hospital. He went down. My daughter-in-law, granddaughter escaped. They saw my son go down and they saw blood, said Evie O'Rourke. Okay, we get it. We don't have to go into the super detail about that, We don't have to, I don't know why they went quite into so much detail. But anyway, let's see here. So this is pretty much the same. This is the man, so they actually show his arrest. They don't show that here. That's interesting. 23 arrested, second-degree murder charge. Armed maniac wearing a mask. Oh, yeah, that sounds like a right-winger, right? Stormed into the wedding, flipped off the guests, and shouted, "The children are safe and free Palestine." Yeah, sounds like a super-duper right-winger, doesn't it? Getting together for a dance. Yeah, chaos went off. Okay, so, yeah, this is the man that was ended. Look at that. That's unbelievably sad. That is unbelievably sad. It's frustrating to say the least to see these left-wingers go off. And then we have, obviously, the man charged with shooting up Sacramento ABC station after Kimmel decision was let go. He was let go. That's like a 15-year charge, and he was let go. So the FBI came in to do the right thing. The FBI has taken into custody the suspect that linked to the shooting into ABC 10's Sacramento station lobby under a federal hold for interference with licensed broadcasts. Targeted acts of violence are unacceptable and will be pursued to the fullest extent of the law. Isn't that crazy? I wonder what Grok says. I wonder, what affiliation was the ABC shooter? Watch him say, I guarantee it says right wing, doesn't it? Because this is going to be funny, right? Tyler Robinson. Okay. What? Why is it bringing up Tyler Robinson? Okay, no. A separate September 22nd shooting. Okay. On September 22nd. Let's go with that. Boy, Grok is just it's not been getting any smarter, On September 22nd, 2025, Annabelle Hernandez Santana, very super duper American name, allegedly fired shots into the lobby of ABC 10 Television, Sacramento, California, an affiliate of ABC News. No one was injured, but the building was evacuated, and suspect was initially arrested by local police, charges including attempted murder, all that good stuff, okay? Political affiliation. Public record statements from law enforcement do not indicate that Hernandez Santana has a former political party affiliation. Voter registration details California where he resides, shows him as unaffiliated, with no history of donation to public, all this good stuff. So they're like, nothing. We just don't know. We just have no idea. Unaffiliated. Ideology. Okay, here we go. Well, they did put this. Left-leaning, anti-corporate media, pro-immigration reform. Okay. Extremist ties, none so far. Family views, mixed. Some relatives identify as Democrat. Okay. At least got that. Well, as it turns out, though, let's see here. I'm just going to get to the meat of it since the video is so, Oh, they didn't put it in here, right? Disney executives. Okay. They didn't put in here that he was very much a Charlie Kirk hater. So, interesting. But this is an older article. This is September 21st. Even though, this happened, I think on September 20th, didn't it? FBI swooped in late September 21st and, officially announced that they had him September 22nd. No. They did announce it yesterday, right? Was this yesterday? Hold on. Let me make sure. This was yesterday. This was September 22nd. Nope. They announced it today, this morning. Okay. Never mind. So they announced this morning that this had happened. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy how that works? But this guy hated Charlie Kirk. But, of course, the left is they're still trying to distance any mainstream media outlet, really, for the most part. Except for New York Post. I'm sure they have a newer article on this. Let's see. Sacramento ABC station. I'll just type this in, and I bet New York Post has a newer article on it that'll explain a little bit better. New York Post. Because I could trust them, at least. So, but... looks like 9/21. Yeah, nobody's updated. That's odd. Guess this story just isn't worth it to anybody now with so much going on. Maybe I shouldn't blame them. There's so much going on. It's hard to cover every single story. I'm only allowed to cover 3 a day. That's why if I get enough people in my Discord, I can start covering way more. You guys will get notified, and I won't have to care. I literally won't have to care about the 3 that get picked. So there is that. But here's the thing. Another 2 in one day. 2 in one day. Extreme leftists shooting up places, trying to end people because of their political view. Guys, if you hear any leftists sit there and say that Republicans are the violent ones, it's just worth ignoring them now. Because all they're doing is they're lying on purpose just to try and confuse and muddy the waters. They know. Destiny knows. Hassan knows. All these people know. And yet they're still going to continue to say, nope, right-wingers. They're all just right-wingers. It's not going to work anymore. They've run out of how many times they can cry wolf. Let's put it that way. They have played the boy who cried wolf for the past 10 years. And now nobody believes them anymore. And they're panicking. They're losing. That's why they're calling for more and more violent rhetoric, because that's the only thing they can do now. And they're going to get stomped out. And because of their desperation, they are literally going to get arrested and thrown away and be done. They will be deplatformed. They will be arrested. They will put in a nice padded cell. I hope to see Hassan and Destiny share the same cell. I really, genuinely do. Give it a like if you guys agree, and I will see you guys here in the next one. Later.